Good morning, lovelies. Welcome to 15 Days of Self-Care, Embodying Magic. I'm not sure which day we're up to, 10 or 11? But anyway, today we're talking about Reiki, which is one of the energetic healing modalities that I work with my clients in my holistic therapy practice. Now, Reiki, well, most people are familiar with the term or have heard the term. And most people have their own understanding of what Reiki is. And there is no right or wrong. I'm just going to explain to you how I use Reiki and what it means to me. So there are two different ways that you can look at Reiki. One is that Reiki literally means universal energy or spiritual energy. It's a Japanese word. And the other way is the system of Reiki. So you can either say Reiki and be using it in this context of describing universal energy, or Reiki. Most often, especially here in the West, Reiki refers to the system of Reiki, which is essentially a spiritual path. It's a practice with specific elements inside the practice, which happen to have the lovely side effect of being able to share healing with other people. Now, that might be the first time that you've ever heard it described that way, but that is in fact what it is. In the early 1900s, a man called Mikao Usui developed this system, and it's come out of, he developed it ancient Buddhism and classical samurai. There are elements of both of those things, and Shintoism and Taoism. And so you've got to understand he had a rich spiritual practice, personal practice, and that is where his system of Reiki has come from. I don't know why I did this. And so if you can imagine, you are a light, and essentially by practicing the system of Reiki, you are uncovering that light so that it shines more brightly, so that you remember how connected you are to the whole universe, and that this energy is always available to you. It's a way of freeing up. It's a way of life. It's a way of living. So most of the time you're probably going to hear Reiki, and the person will be referring to it as a hands-on or hands-off distant healing method, where energy comes out of the person's hands, or they send energy to a person, place, thing, situation. But actually, the system of Reiki is a personal spiritual practice where it has 5 elements. There are the precepts, meditations, the hands-on healing, symbols and mantras, and the attunement or reiju, which is essentially a blessing. There's nothing magical when a Reiki master or Reiki practitioner attunes you, blesses you in the ritual of reiju. They're not switching on some magical switch in you that suddenly means you can work with universal energy. You have always been and will always be able to work with this energy. There is not some power that is conveyed to you by someone doing this particular ritual with you. You've always had it, and you always will have it. Unfortunately, what is not taught are the 5 elements that go into this personal spiritual practice of Reiki. So tomorrow I'm going to talk to you about the precepts. And there are 5 precepts, and if you're curious before tomorrow, you can look them up. I might even put a link in for you to have a look at. We'll see. Maybe I'll put the link in tomorrow. But it's about the specific meditative practices where you gradually uncover the worries, the angers, the irritations that, you know, are very human. And it's like taking the lampshades off the lamp. The light in you always shines as brightly. It's just that life layers upon us all of these concerns and worries, and we forget how bright the light is. We forget that connection we have to everything around us. We forget how powerful we are. And so a Reiki practitioner who is practicing the spiritual system of Reiki as a personal practice, when you go to them for healing and relaxation, they are essentially sharing and just being in space with you. And this works for distant healings as well, distant sessions. You don't have to be in the same room, but they are sharing, just shining their bright light in your vicinity. And your body instinctively knows how to heal. And so it draws on the energy around it. And so the clearer the practitioner is, the more able they are to share their energy with you in the space. And so you don't send Reiki, you don't do Reiki, you are Reiki. And you work through the system of Reiki to uncover this beautiful light that you are, so you can share it with everything around you. So I think I've given you some stuff to think about today. Maybe a different way of understanding what you thought Reiki was. I'd love to hear your questions. If you're watching this on the replay, #replay, please let me know that you popped in to have a look and to listen to me. I'd love to hear your comments, start a conversation. And tomorrow I'm going to go into the precepts with you. It's a really interesting conversation, and it's a really beautiful way of working with yourself to uncover, you know, your just beauty and just to feel better. The precepts got me through a really, really tough couple of years, and so that's why I'm going to share those with you, that particular aspect of my Reiki practice, because it's so powerful and you can start doing it right away. You don't need anybody to tell you you're allowed to do these things. You can start doing this tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll show you how. Okay, my darlings, I will see you then. Mwah, thanks for showing up.